Look, I need to tell you something, and honestly, this has been keeping me up at night. I have a friend who works in supply chain management for one of the biggest grocery distributors in the country. We were having coffee last week, and what she told me? It genuinely shook me. She pulled out her phone, showed me an internal memo, and said, "People have no idea what's coming. We're talking about 2026, this year, and we're talking about 15 everyday foods that are quietly just disappearing from shelves. Not all at once, not with some big announcement, just vanishing. Some are already harder to find. Others will be gone by summer. And the worst part? Most people won't even notice until it's too late." Before I walk you through this list, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button right now. And here's why. Stores aren't going to announce this stuff. There's no press release that says, "Hey, we're discontinuing your favorite snack." They just stop restocking it. I'm going to keep tracking these changes every single week, and if you're subscribed, you'll know exactly what's happening before your neighbors do. All right, let's get into it. Number 15, canned coconut milk, full fat. First up, full-fat canned coconut milk. Now, I'm not talking about the carton stuff in the dairy aisle. I'm talking about the thick, creamy cans you use for curry, soups, Thai food. Here's what's happening. Coconut production in Thailand and the Philippines, where most of this comes from, has been hammered by extreme weather and labor shortages. Combine that with rising export costs, and suppliers are prioritizing coconut water and beauty products because the margins are better. My friend said her company's orders have been cut by 30% for 2026. I checked prices last month. A can of Cauco or Aroy D was $2.19. Last week, $3.49. And half the stores I went to were out of stock. I bought 24 cans, stuck them in the pantry. They last for 2 years easy. And honestly, if you cook Asian food even once a month, you need this. If it's on the shelf right now, grab 6 cans. Minimum. Number 14. Grass-fed butter, Kerrygold, Organic Valley. Okay, this one surprised me too. Grass-fed butter, especially Kerrygold, is getting harder and harder to find. Why? Well, European dairy farmers are dealing with massive cost increases. Feed, energy, labor, everything's up. Ireland specifically has had 2 rough seasons in a row, and they've reduced exports to the US to stabilize their domestic market. A friend of mine who manages a Whole Foods said they're being told to expect intermittent availability through spring. Kerrygold used to be $4.99 for the 2-pack. Now it's $7.49 when you can even find it. I picked up 8 packs 2 weeks ago and threw them in the freezer. Butter freezes beautifully for up to a year. Just wrap it tight. If you bake, if you cook, if you just like real butter on your toast, stock up now. This is one of those things that once it's gone, the alternatives just don't hit the same. Number 13. Wild-caught salmon, frozen fillets. This one hurts because we eat salmon probably twice a week. Wild-caught salmon, particularly from Alaska, is facing a serious crunch. The 2025 season had one of the lowest returns in decades. Combine that with new fishing restrictions and higher fuel costs for boats and, yeah, prices are spiking and supply is dropping. I saw frozen wild-caught sockeye fillets at Costco for $12.99 a pound in December. Last time I checked, $18.99, and they were limiting purchases to 2 packs per member. I grabbed 4 packs. Vacuum sealed, they'll stay good in the freezer for 6 months. Easy. Here's the thing, if it says wild caught, it's worth it. Farm raised just doesn't have the same omega-3s, and the texture's completely different. If you see it on sale or in stock, don't wait. This is one of those staples that's only going to get more expensive and harder to find. Number 12. Organic peanut butter, no sugar added. Yep, even peanut butter. Specifically, the organic, no sugar added kind. Brands like Smucker's Natural, Santa Cruz, 365 Organic. Why? What's going on? Peanut crops in the US took a hit last year because of drought in Georgia and Texas. Organic peanuts are even more limited because fewer farmers grow them. It's more expensive and risky. On top of that, there's been a quiet shift in manufacturing. A lot of smaller organic brands are getting squeezed out by consolidation. If it's not a top seller, it's getting cut. I used to grab a jar for $6.49. Now it's $8.99, and my local Target's been out of stock for 3 weeks. I bought 6 jars. Unopened, they last a year in the pantry. Once you open one, just store it in the fridge. If you've got kids, if you meal prep, if you just love a PB&J, grab a few jars while you can. The shelf-stable protein alone makes it worth it. Number 11. Real maple syrup. Grade A. Dark amber. Okay, this one's personal because I'm not going back to the fake stuff. Real maple syrup, especially the good dark amber grade A, is becoming ridiculously hard to find. Canada produces like 70% of the world's maple syrup, and last year they had one of the worst seasons on record. Warmer winters mean shorter sap runs. Add in rising fuel costs to boil the sap down, and producers are charging more and making less. A 32-ounce bottle used to run me about $14. Now, $22. And good luck finding it in stock. I bought 4 bottles last month. Sealed tight, real maple syrup lasts indefinitely. Seriously, just keep it in a cool, dark place. Listen, if you've ever tasted the real thing, you know there's no going back to Mrs. Butterworth's. Stock up now while you still can. Number 10. Pasture-raised eggs. Vital Farms, our happy egg company. Eggs in general have been a mess for a couple years now, but pasture-raised? That's a whole different level. Avian flu outbreaks are still happening, and pasture-raised farms are getting hit hardest because their birds are outdoors more. Combine that with higher feed costs and stricter certifications, and a lot of smaller farms are just shutting down. My buddy at the distribution center said they're seeing 40% fewer pasture-raised eggs coming through compared to last year. Vital Farms cartons were $7.99 6 months ago. Last week I saw them for $10.49, and the shelf was half empty. Now, eggs don't freeze well whole, but here's what I do. I crack a dozen, scramble them, and freeze them in silicone muffin trays. Boom. Instant breakfast portions for 2 months. If you care about how your food is raised, how if you taste the difference in a real egg, get them while you can. This isn't fear-mongering. This is just reality. Number 9. Arborio rice, authentic Italian. I know. Rice? Really? But hear me out. Arborio rice, the real stuff from Italy that you use for risotto, is disappearing. Italy's been dealing with severe droughts in the Po Valley, which is where most arborio is grown. Production dropped by almost 30% last year, and because it's a specialty crop, they're not ramping up imports from Asia to replace it. A 2-pound bag of Riso Scotti used to be $6.49. Now it's $9.99, and I've been to 3 stores that didn't have it at all. I picked up 5 bags. Sealed properly, rice lasts for years. Just keep it in an airtight container away from moisture. If you make risotto even a couple times a year, grab a few bags now. And the cheap substitutes just don't have the same starch content, and your risotto will turn out sad. Number 8. Organic canned tomatoes. San Marzano, Muirglen. Here's one that actually made me mad. Organic canned tomatoes, especially the good ones like San Marzano or Muirglen, are quietly being pulled from shelves. Why? Tomato crops in California got destroyed by late-season rains last year, and Italy's dealing with rising costs and export limits. Organic tomatoes are already more expensive to grow, so when supply tightens, they're the first to go. My friend said her company's only getting about 60% of their normal San Marzano order for spring. A 28-ounce can of Muirglen used to be $2.79. Last I saw, $4.29, and my Safeway had exactly 2 cans left. I bought a case of 12. Canned tomatoes last 2 to 3 years, and they're the backbone of so many meals: pasta sauce, chili, soup, pizza. If you cook Italian food, if you meal prep, if you just want a pantry that actually works, grab these now. Hashtag 7. Dark chocolate bars, 70% cacao or higher. Chocolate lovers, this one's for you. And it's not good news. Dark chocolate, real dark chocolate, 70% cacao and up, is getting absolutely slammed. Cacao prices hit record highs in 2025 because of crop failures in West Africa. Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana produce most of the world's cacao, and they've been dealing with disease, drought, and aging trees. A bar of Lindt 85% used to be $3.49. Now it's $5.99, and a lot of stores are limiting how many you can buy. I'm not even joking. I bought 20 bars and stashed them in a cool, dark drawer. Dark chocolate lasts for a year. Easy. Sometimes two if you store it right. And if you're someone who needs that daily square of dark chocolate for your sanity, guilty. Or if you bake with it, don't sleep on this. Once it's gone, the price is only going up. Number 6. Almond flour, blanched superfine. Almond flour is next, and honestly, this one's already happening. California grows like 80% of the world's almonds, and they've been dealing with multi-year droughts and new water restrictions. Almond trees use a lot of water, and farmers are being forced to cut back or switch crops entirely. A 3-pound bag of Bob's Red Mill almond flour used to be $14.99. Last time I looked, $21.99. And Costco's been out of stock for 2 weeks straight. I bought 3 bags. Sealed tight in the fridge or freezer, almond flour lasts up to a year. If you're keto, paleo, gluten-free, or just like baking with it, grab it now. The alternatives, coconut flour, cassava, just don't work the same in recipes. Number 5. Grass-fed ground beef, 80-20. Okay, this is a big one. Grass-fed ground beef, especially the 80-20 blend that's perfect for burgers, is becoming really hard to find. Grass-fed cattle take longer to raise, cost more to feed, and U.S. ranchers are getting squeezed by land costs and processing fees. A lot of smaller producers are either selling out or switching to conventional grain-fed to stay afloat. My guy at the meat counter told me their grass-fed supplier cut their order by half starting in March. A pound of grass-fed 80-20 was $7.99 last fall. Now it's $10.99, and they're often sold out by noon. I bought 10 pounds, portioned it into 1-pound packs, and froze it. Vacuum sealed, it'll last 6 months to a year. If you care about what your beef eats, if you taste the difference, if you want the better fat profile, buy it now and freeze it. This is one of those things that's going to be gone before people even realize it. Number 4. Organic rolled oats, thick cut. I didn't expect oats to be on this list either, but here we are. Organic rolled oats, especially the thick cut kind from brands like Bob's Red Mill or 1 Degree, are disappearing. Oat crops in North America had a rough year. Wet springs delayed planting, and then drought hit during the growing season. Organic oats are even more limited because of certification requirements and lower yields. A 2-pound bag used to be $5.49. Now it's $7.99, and I've been to 2 stores that were completely out. I grabbed 6 bags. Stored in an airtight container, oats last for a year, sometimes longer. If you do overnight oats, if you bake granola, now if you just want a solid breakfast staple, don't wait. Once the supply's gone, you'll be stuck with the instant stuff that tastes like cardboard. Number 3. Extra virgin olive oil, cold-pressed, single origin. This one's been all over the news, but people still aren't acting on it. Real extra virgin olive oil, cold-pressed, single origin, from places like Greece, Spain, or Italy, is in serious trouble. Mediterranean olive groves got destroyed by heat waves and wildfires in 2024 and 2025. Production's down across the board, and prices have doubled or even tripled for the good stuff. A bottle of Kalamata, or Arbequina, EVOO, used to be $12.99. Now, $24.99. And shelves are half empty. I bought 4 bottles last month. Stored in a dark, cool place, olive oil lasts 18 to 24 months. Here's the thing. Cheap olive oil is often cut with seed oils or isn't even really extra virgin. If you cook Mediterranean, if you care about quality fat, if you drizzle it on everything like I do, buy the real stuff now. Number 2. Canned wild sardines, packed in olive oil. Sardines. Yes, sardines. I know they're not everyone's thing, but hear me out. Wild-caught sardines, especially the ones packed in olive oil from Portugal or Spain, are disappearing fast. Overfishing regulations in Europe have tightened, and sardine populations in the Atlantic are lower than they've been in decades. Combine that with rising olive oil prices, see above, and these little cans are becoming luxury items. A tin of Matisse or Bella sardines used to be $3.99. Now they're $6.49, and most stores only carry one or two brands. I bought a case of 12. Canned sardines last for 3 to 5 years, and they're one of the best shelf-stable protein sources you can get. Omega-3s, calcium, vitamin D, it's all there. If you're into them, if you're trying to eat more fish, if you just want a nuclear-proof pantry staple, grab them now. And here's number 1, organic honey. Raw, unfiltered, the real deal. This one honestly makes me the most worried because honey's one of those things we just assume will always be around. But bee populations are collapsing. Pesticides, habitat loss, climate shifts, it's all hitting at once. Organic honey is even rarer because certified organic apiaries are few and far between. A 16-ounce jar of raw, organic honey used to be $9.99. Last I checked, $16.99, and my local co-op was completely sold out. I bought 6 jars. Honey literally lasts forever if stored properly. We're talking thousands of years. Just keep it sealed and at room temp. If you use honey for tea, for baking, for allergies, for literally anything, get it now. Once small-scale beekeepers go under, the only thing left will be mass-produced, heavily processed stuff that's basically just sugar syrup. Look, I know this sounds intense, but I'm not just telling you this stuff, I'm doing it. I've personally spent over $320 in the last 3 weeks stocking up on these 15 items. My pantry looks like a small Costco right now, and yeah, my partner thinks I'm a little nuts. But here's the thing. Even if I'm wrong, even if every single one of these products stays on shelves forever, I've still saved money. I bought at today's prices, I've got food security for months, and I'm not going to be the person scrambling when something I need just isn't there anymore. I'm not telling you to panic. I'm not saying empty the shelves or go into debt buying food. What I am saying is this: prepare intelligently. We live in a world where supply chains are fragile, where climate is unpredictable, where costs are rising faster than wages. That's just reality. Stocking up on shelf-stable, high-quality foods that you already eat? That's not paranoia. That's just smart. Even if nothing crazy happens, you're saving money, you're saving trips to the store, and you've got peace of mind. So here's what I want you to do. Don't try to buy all 15 things today. Just pick 3. Start with the ones you already use, the ones that matter to your family. Go to the store this week, or order online, and grab a little extra. Build your pantry intentionally, and drop a comment below. Tell me which ones you're stocking up on, or if there's something you've noticed disappearing from your local stores. I read every single comment, and honestly, that's where I get half my intel. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, because I'm tracking this stuff every week, and you're going to want to stay ahead of it. Thanks for watching. Stay prepared, stay smart, and I'll see you in the next one.